Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to the Monogatari series. It's Owarimonogatari episode 9. And you know what to do. As always, if you want to see the reaction itself, just go down into my descriptions, follow the link, replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots, and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear out my thoughts about this episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, first things first, before I go into the deeper discussion, I had in the episode this moment when I was like, wait a second, why is she putting on her socks and her shoe again? Didn't she have it on already? And I checked again, because I was quite sure about that one. I think it is not, I think it's just a minor mistake they did. I don't think it is something with a deeper meaning, but I just checked for it. So, we have the moment where she's barefoot here, and if I skip by just a second, you know, there it is. There's a moment where she is having on full clothing. She has been spin wheeling there for a second, and then we go into her discussion about stuff. And even in these pictures, you can see she is completely closed. And then here she is without the one side, without the left side of socks and shoes again. So I guess they just had a little mishap there. Hopefully, if this has a deeper meaning, okay, that's too much. Okay, so let's go on. What all of this, oh, that's a nice picture, we will take that, is about. So in the end we had a meetup again. We had Shinobu back in the game now, which is a good one, but she seems not to be aware of the fact that the samurai clad armor is there. And the armor clad samurai? I'm not sure. But I guess we will have her learn about that in the next episode. But whatever, before all of that happened, we had this little discussion between Araragi and Ononoki, which I like. I really like Ononoki more and more every time I see her. She's an interesting character, this doll-like thing. And I always think when she turns and they camera her from the upside, she always looks like one of those spinning wheels in the not circus, in the market. I guess you know what I mean, and I will have the word later on, hopefully. But it's interesting. She mentioned his calves, that he has, in the end, nice and well-trained butt cheeks, which for me instantly was like, wait a second, I remember him touching hers. So this is maybe like a kind of foreshadowing there. They have a very strange relationship with each other. But that's something you can say for Araragi and everyone, possibly. Him holding her face later on, her putting her feet into his face. So this is kind of distanceless, what they have. Out of a normal distance while talking and private space, they go into full contact immediately, into a very weird way, and always a way that makes the other one look strange. And both of them accept it. That is the weird thing about it. So, well. However, Kambaru's out, and she later on mentioned that she feels kind of, well, drained, you could say. And she reminds that is something like in the Northern Shrine. So she's even aware that this energy is supernatural, something is abnormal. And although there was a long talk between Araragi and Ononoki, there was not, at least for me, so much of an information there yet. We were reminded that he has to bring Kambaru to Gaen. I completely see her point that letting Kambaru go back home, staying alone, would possibly be a bad idea right now, because the samurai is aware of her. Sorry. And she even punched the samurai. So the question is if he would follow her. But pretty likely, at least, she is on his map now. So she's possibly not safe. And if he wants to get at Shinobu, as we know, he knows he has to get to Araragi, and he now knows that Kambaru is somehow connected to Araragi, so she isn't safe. And keeping her with Gaen is an option. She seems pretty powerful and knowledgeable because she knows everything. So the idea of still bringing her to Gaen is a good one. I agree there. So they ventured out and didn't find their way. And they put it into pictures, and I really like that. So they had him walking, and I like the fact that they put it into pictures that they were going the wrong way by putting arrows in the direction that they were coming from, and turnways and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they had in a lamppost, not lampposts, red signs, you know. Today my English is really not good. I'm very sorry. I'm just searching. Oh, that's where we are already. Yeah, they didn't put it in. Okay. So normally the signs that they've seen were with red, so it's okay. But normally they play a little bit more with colors, and I'm not sure if they did it this time. So they were misled, like with the snail, like with Hachikuji, kind of a similar power, which means that the samurai, whysoever, is able to put like a small curse on him of not finding the right direction. Which shows us that he is more powerful than just the things we know. Everyone else thinks it's Hachikuji. Okay, let him think that. So he seems to have this option. I asked myself what kind of powers this samurai armor has. Because we have a mentioning of a fight against the demon paw, against the paw of Kambaru, and I am not sure if they really fought against it, because by saying that Ononoki blew off a half of this creature, I think we would see some kind of effect on Kambaru, but I might be wrong here. I at the moment, I asked myself if maybe, just maybe, the samurai has the whatever option to take over the powers or create creatures. Maybe it's the darkness itself that creates creatures that have powers of apparitions we have seen before. I mean, in the end of this episode, we have seen a crab. We have seen one of those strange looking things coming out of the darkness. Which looks a lot like the things in the intro, and a little bit like Kambaru did when she had on her coat and everything with the paw. So we have something like that, but with a crab hand and some tentacles. And the crab itself wouldn't attack. I mean, you know that. It isn't there anymore. So how does this thing come to be? Is it a different apparition and just by accident looks alike? I'm not sure. We have this new thing, which I guess is being sent from the darkness. We have a snail power, which is used by the samurai, so it's the second one. And we have a mentioning of a fight against a monkey paw, a monkey apparition, which we know is there and is at the moment with Araragi, and doesn't seem to have fought in just a short amount of time ago. So I asked myself if maybe the darkness is sending in created aberrations that are similar to the ones that Araragi has encountered, and by doing so, Shinobu has encountered in the past. Possible. We will see. So, they solved the riddle of being led astray again by not walking on streets. That's true. There was neither the solution they had in the past. Because the snail did not know new streets. So they walked on walls, they walked through close alleys and stuff like that. And that solved it again. So something that Araragi could have done himself, that is true. But in this case, they gave it to Kambaru, who did it in her very own way. So she was able to send the way to Senjugahara. Well, what shall I say about that? On the one hand, there is a strange, deeper relationship to her and kind of affection, so maybe that's why. On the other hand, I don't think a monkey is that good at scenting. If she would be a dog, it would be more fitting. But okay. Gaen is Gun, which is interesting. However, Shinobu is there. So I'm pretty sure Gaen knew that Shinobu was there. She got informed about some stuff. And it sounded like she was informed by Ononoki. By the way, Ononoki could have brought him there instantly with her jump. Just saying. But that's possibly something that wouldn't be good for Kambaru, I guess. What, however, sounds through a little bit to me is that maybe, just maybe, Gaen is not aware of the darkness and the samurai. However, later on, she might always say that she knew and just played the game. So I can't be sure about that. But she stated that the snail effect is something Araragi could do himself. So it seemed as though she thought it was Hachikuji who once again had an effect on Araragi. As I say, I'm not sure. Maybe really he is able to mislead her there. That still no one knows that Hachikuji's gun, and I am not sure. It's a unclear thing. Maybe Gaen really thinks Hachikuji is involved, the snail, or she's just acting, having her very own agenda and game as always. We will see. We still have not seen anything of Ononoki's master herself, which kind of makes sense because she is in the past as well not really much involved. As she always says, she is someone with a very straight and very clear skill set and goals, so she has no reason to be there at the moment, unless an aberration has to be an undying aberration has to be destroyed, which, by the way, might be an option. I mean, we have the darkness, which is kind of an undying thing, and the samurai now as well. Maybe they will bring her in the end as kind of a solution. Just saying. Yeah. So we have the fight now. We have possibly a fight. I mean, we never know in this show. We have Shinobu and Araragi being back together. Possibly that's why there is this appearance, there's this attack happening now, because the darkness waited for them to be reunited. And now we will learn a little bit more about what the heck is going on, hopefully, and how to solve it and how to face it. That's it for this time. As always, if you want to, you're welcome to leave a comment or a like. And I will see you the next time. Until then, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.